Good evening, uh, men and women of Zealandia. I'm here today, well, this evening actually, to address you on the state of the kingdom. Um, This afternoon, this evening I signed into law an act. This act I'm not too happy about signing into law. Uh, the act, the National Safeguarding and Socialism and Protection of Socialism Act, 2012. Whilst I understand that I must explain in this State of the Nation address the reasons behind the creation of this act in the State Council. There has A situation has developed over time in Zealandia since the overthrow of the von Linden dictatorship, and that situation has finally boiled over. Um, I suppose it's been brewing quite a long time. Last year, with all of our calamities as well, the people were too busy dealing with the calamities, the earthquakes, the personal issues surrounding them, some some of the schooling issues, etc. But now that it's 2012, we have a chance to actually re-examine what's going on in Zealandia. And it's not a very nice situation that we find ourselves in at all. It's a situation that I'm not comfortable with. It's a situation where persons with with an allegiance to a foreign micronation that is not an ally, that that aren't territorial citizens in some way, are politically outnumbering our own territorial citizens. This is this has been enough. This has been highlighted many times as one of Zealandia's chief problems, and I believe that we need to take steps towards fixing that problem. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably going to cry foul at this and get very upset at me, but I don't care. The point is, Zealandia is in a crucial stage at the moment, and it is at this stage that we need to stop and repair the damage that has been done in Zealandia, and repair the damage from the von Linden era that hasn't clear up that baggage that hasn't been fixed. It's been put back, if you will. We've finally got a workable constitution. We got that in the beginning of this year. I'm glad that we have that in place. Without it, I think things would have been an absolute schmozzle by now. Um, our working constitution, which enshrines our democratic socialist values, but also keeps the Zealandian monarchy. Um, I know that some members of our government wish to pursue a full-scale socialist government in Zealandia, and the people voted against that. I know that some people also in government also wanted a Swiss-style confederacy, and that was voted down as well. It's so, of course, we're going to stay as a kingdom, uh, albeit a socialist one. Now, I know that there is the question of my political involvement in a lot of things in Zealandia. And that being, it has pretty much been the case since day dot, when I helped, when with Robert Kennedy, Zealandia was founded. It was kind of like, yes, I had to be involved in that, in the in in the parliamentary processes. That in fact I became the speaker. I became an elect. I was also elected by by that house, by the then House of Commons, sorry, as the king. And since then, I think that my political involvement has been entirely proportional to what the state has needed, whether that's been me backing right off and being a mere smile and wave, or whether that's me assuming the powers that I have this evening under the National Safeguarding and Protection of Socialism Act. That act in itself is only valid until June, whereupon the power will be handed back to the Storthing and the Council of State in their separate entities, as set by the Constitution. Now, within this act, it can only go so far as the Constitution allows the power vested in it to go. This act is probably going to be challenged by certain citizens in the Supreme Court, and of course, I will abide by any other decisions in that decision. I will abide by any decisions made by the Supreme Court, because I'm not a dictator, as much as certain micronationalists from, say, Morocco like to think I am. But that said, Zealandia is in a crucial stage at the moment, and I think by tossing out a lot of our foreigners, or those whose main allegiance or whose allegiance isn't primarily towards Zealandia, or a very close state such as Tiana, need to be kicked. Zealandia also needs to take its foreign affairs policy entirely, well, not almost 90% of its 95, I would say, percent of its foreign policy needs to be taken away from the micro-wiki sector. So that means our primary focus of relations will not be in the micro-wiki sector in the coming future, but outside of it. That isn't to say that we won't have a presence on the micro-wiki. Zealandia will still continue to have its articles edited by Zealandians. It'll still interact in parts of that community that has evolved, or that sector that has evolved around it. But we will be seeking more mature-esque relations with nations outside of that sphere. I understand that that's going to cause some consternation amongst some of you, but I feel that this is the way that my nation must grow. I also believe that at the moment, Zealandia's internal affairs policy needs much, much work. And whilst this is currently in the planning stages, and we have already initiated a move, or we are currently in the move between from a non-independent hosting of the Zealandian website through to a fully independent hosting, which will include hopefully a Moodle application which will allow Zealandia to start offering courses in the education sector, in its own education sector. These courses will, of course, I call on them to be free for anybody who wishes to apply for them. Although, of course, naturally, Zealandian citizens will get the first pick of any subject available. So, basically, I'm going to sum up now. Zealandia is in a transitional stage. We have many issues that we have to deal with, including a lot that have been around since the downfall of the chocolate dictator, as First Minister Puglisi calls him. And whilst I'm aware that that our policy of more towards an independent external affairs policy may be seen in a bad light, I truly believe that this is part of the way of moving Zealandia forward and getting us going again. So yes, our internal affairs wise, I think it will also be boosted by kicking the non-territorials out, or somehow lessening their role in the political system of Zealandia, to the extent where the territorial citizens and other Zealandians have the natural rights of the majority of that they should enjoy. If they live in Zealandia, they should be able to participate in Zealandian politics more than those who don't actually have an allegiance of some sort to Zealandia. Wish. I think that's pretty much all I have to say on the state of Zealandia. Um, so yeah, good evening.